Hey guys, welcome to another Monster Hunter World video. Before I get started with today's video, I just wanted to make a quick note about some of the comments I've been getting on my previous videos. A lot of people have been commenting things like, "This is wrong, this build sucks, my build is better, there is no best build." And while things like "there is no best build," etc. are true, the purpose of my videos is not to set one set in stone that is truly superior above all others, but instead to show you guys the sets that I personally use and that I personally to have worked the best for me. Of course, not everyone has the same preferences when it comes to skills, not everyone has the same decorations, or they just play differently, so they look for other things in their build. That's why in every single one of my videos, I always say that everything is viable in Monster Hunter World. So, you shouldn't be shy to build something just because you like the way it looks, or because of the stats that it offers you. If anything, my biggest hope is that when you watch one of my videos, you'll look at a set and get ideas for one yourself, or that they help you realize what you really want in your build. Hopefully they inspire you to make your own version of these sets with what you have available or with the changes that'll benefit you more personally. I just wanted to address that because I've gotten a lot of those comments, so, you know. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. Today I have a very accessible, entry-level, budget longsword set for you guys. In my last video, a couple of people told me that although I wasn't using the protective polish jewel, which is a jewel that is considered to be very, very rare, I was using other rare decorations that aren't that accessible either. So the purpose of this set isn't for it to tower above the rest, but I wanted to have a set that doesn't rely on rare decorations as heavily, and one that doesn't use the Divine Slasher. People hate the grind for that weapon, and trust me, I can relate. I built 3 of them just so I could augment each one differently, so I could test them out for my last video alone. That isn't dedication. I don't know what is. So although I'm going to still recommend that you guys grind for the Divine Slasher, I know it's a pain to do. So you can use this one while you grind for it until you get it, and then simply replace it later on. Or if you just don't feel like grinding it at all, you can just use this. So the weapon we're going to be using is the Dazzling Flash 3, the final form upgraded longsword from the Zidziyaku tree. I would like to thank Isle Shadow from Reddit for pointing this out to me. The fact that this sword is basically the great value version of the Divine Slasher. It has a level 3 jewel slot, 3 augment slots, a hidden element, which means we can use an elementless jewel on it, it can get a bunch of white sharpness, and it's only 100 damage less than the Divine Slasher. So I augmented it once for an attack increase, once for an affinity increase, and once with a health regen. I recommend that you augment it the exact same way, but if you want something differently, I highly recommend that you at least keep either the affinity boost or the health boost, because later on in the set that, I'm going to go show you all the jewels, you will highly benefit from having that 10% affinity so that we can get 100% affinity. I'll show you in just a bit. And we're also going to be using peak performance, so this will help you stay at full health, so you can get the peak performance. So if you're going to swap 2 or 3 of the different augments, I strongly recommend you at least keep 1 of those 2. For the armor set, yes, we're going to be using the Dragon King Eye Patch Alpha. This is the only piece that we're going to slot in with a quote-unquote rare jewel, and that is a Tenderizer jewel, so we can round out weakness exploit in 1 piece of armor. For the chest piece, we're going to be using the Brigade Suit Beta. For the gauntlets, we're going to be using the Valhazak Braces Beta. The coil is going to be the Valhazak Coil Beta. For the boots, we're going to be using the Death Stench Heel Beta and a Handicraft 3 Charm to go along with it so we can max out our white sharpness. Now, so far, this should give you, with the jewels we have mentioned, level 5 Handicraft, level 3 Weakness Exploit, level 3 Peak Performance, 1 level of Divine Blessing, and a non-elemental boost from the Elementless jewel that we slotted into the Dazzling Flash 3. This doesn't look all that impressive at first, but when you take a look at the gear, look at all those slots. Here you have 2 free level 2 jewel slots and 7 free level 1 slots. If you don't have an Elementalist jewel or a Tenderizer jewel, well, that sucks, but at least then you'll have an additional 2 level 3 jewel slots. This set offers you an enormous amount of customization. Me personally, I created a budget version of my daily driver longsword build, which is the 100% crit chance build that I showed you guys in my previous video. I slotted in 7 expert jewels, 1 mighty jewel to get 50% crit chance raw, which turns into 100% crit chance when hitting a weak spot. The only 2 jewels that I consider hard to find for this set is the Tenderizer jewel and the Flawless jewel to max out peak performance. And then I also threw in a mighty jewel, which is kind of also considered rare. So if you have one, I do recommend you throw it in there too, but again, Completely optional, up to you what you throw in that level 2 slot. You have so much freedom to do whatever you want since you have multiple slots of every single jewel level. 7 level 2s, 2 level 2s, and 2 level 3s. Can't really go wrong with this. Now, this is a pretty budget set already, but what if we want to go even beyond this budget? What if we want to go into welfare, basically? What if you don't have a lot of level 2 decorations? What if you're just fresh off from finishing the campaign? Well, you can also swap out the chest piece for the Xeno'jiiva chest beta, which will give you 2 more level 1 slots for you to fill out with whatever you want. So, level 1 jewels, super common. You can chuck whatever you have in your inventory in here to just give you some random crap, whatever you want, really. In my case, I filled them with 2 vitality jewels because why not? The Xeno'jiiva chest piece will also give you 2 levels of power prolonger instead of 1 level of divine blessing, which is really useful for Longsword. It feels pretty good. With that, you'll be able to keep your red spirit gauge for much longer. You don't have to worry about landing the roundhouse slash too often. So in summary, like I've said like 3 or 4 times already, with this set you have a ton of customization. The sword is basically a diet divine slasher. Of course, the numbers you'll see from this set aren't going to be as huge as other endgame builds, but that was never the purpose of this set anyways. It was supposed to be very accessible and customizable, so you can't really go wrong with it. But the damage you'll output will be good enough for you to go to toe-to-toe with endgame enemies, absolutely no problem. Anyway guys, that's going to be it from me. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video useful, or entertaining at least. Give this set a go, and let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments and I'll check them out. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and take care.